Hey. Welcome. I'm Fizz Ed Music, and this right here is Urban Politics. Want to thank you all for liking and subscribing as you do. Please, as soon as you have a moment after this video, let your little fingers do the walk and take yourself on over to YouTube. Like and subscribe. Fizz Ed Music. Urban politics. But without further ado, I want to jump right into it like a car and drive because there's all types of tasty and delicious politics to sink our teeth into. First of all, let's talk about classified documents. They're all over the place, aren't they, ladies and gentlemen? Trump's got them, Pence has got them, Biden's got them. The president at that time, at the time whatever time that we're talking about, is the only one who can declassify documents, and there's a process to it. He can't, no matter what Trump says, a president can't just think about something being declassified and it's been declassified. That's not how that works. I don't necessarily know what the process is, but I guarantee it probably has paperwork involved. It probably has showing how these documents will help with something else over here. Why some of the sensitive material in these documents would be appropriate to let them out to different entities or whatever because it can help with different investigations. It ain't just the president saying, like bewitched. He don't just twinkle his nose and just think about it in his head and boom, we have declassified documents. That's not how that works, ladies and gentlemen. So all these guys coming up with classified government documents in their homes and in other places, this is what human beings do. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes people take papers home with them because they're reading something over. They want to have something ready in the morning or want to be up to date or up to snuff on something in the morning, so they want to read it overnight. That is what it is. That still doesn't make it all right. These sensitive documents should not be leaving government property. I talked about on a previous show how I was watching some guy, I can't remember his name, but he said, he had been in government most of his adult life. And he said, I've been in the classified documents realm a long time. I have never taken anything home. And I get that. Like I said, heck, I've worked in social work for the last 30 plus years. And I've never in my life taken documents home about a client. And then how about this? Even when you do have to have those documents on your person, you have them in a briefcase or you have them in like kind of a locked box or you have them in a folder in the backseat of your car. You don't have them right there in the window to where somebody could look in there and see somebody's personal information. That's against HIPAA laws. So, every different job or whatever, has different ways that you want to protect people's sensitive information. And these government documents are about as sensitive as it gets, ladies and gentlemen. So it's not a good look that all these people have them. It's interesting how Fox News has different opinions depending, of course, on who has the documents. If Trump has them, he didn't know what he was doing, and the FBI was wrong for raiding his residence in Mar-a-Lago, and they're horrible people. If Pence had them all, it's no big deal. Pence was vice president, and he, did the sweep because he wanted to be in accordance with the law, and Pence has never done anything wrong in his life. If Biden has them, Biden, it was a conspiracy. You know what I'm saying? And Biden is the one. He's the one hiding documents. And then even on Fox News, they keep calling for a raid of Biden's home. Why? Because Trump's home was raided. Well, here's the difference. Biden is working with the Department of Justice and with the powers that be to bring all this to reconciliation and find these files, where Trump for months was begged to turn them over, refused to turn them over, and then they finally had to run up in his crib and take them. So that's the difference. One guy's working with them, the other guy was working against them. Guy who was working against them, they had to raid his crib in Mar-a-Lago. So don't be calling for a raid, to Biden's residence when Biden has no reason to be raided. He's working with the authorities. Anyway, and then they talking about they want a rating of Hunter Biden's home. Here we are back on this. Then they had the audacity to bring up Hillary Clinton. Here we go again. Seriously, first of all, here's a woman whose whole presidential hopes were dashed over classified documents, and now everybody and their mama got them. Now it's like it's just becoming commonplace. You know what I'm saying? This is just everyday news now. So like I said, derailed her whole trajectory to become president. So come on now. You know what I'm saying? So please get up off of that. You know what I'm saying? There go Fox News again with that tired old song. They really need to find a new shtick. But there are some Republicans who just will never get off of their hatred for Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. I'm not saying either of them are angels or wearing no halos by any stretch of the imagination. But my point being is that for whatever reason, the right has had this sick, twisted love affair with the Clintons and the Clinton Foundation and Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton and all of that crap. Let it go. They're old news anyway. Neither of them are even civil servants anymore, So come on, get over it. Anyway, moving on. let's talk about Trump and versus DeSantis. Trump versus DeSantis, kind of what's going on in the Republican Party right now, right? Both have legal troubles that could land them in jail before the 2024 election. DeSantis, he's being investigated, or there is an open investigation into his migrant flights to Martha's Vineyard. A group of Venezuelan migrants filed a suit in federal court against DeSantis, saying they were lured to flights with false claims of gifts and jobs. The Department of Treasury is investigating his misuse of COVID funds to do this. So here we go. This political theater, I talked about it here on the show. It looks like it's coming back to bite DeSantis in the butt. And that's what it is sometimes. You know what I'm saying? That's what it be. This political theater. Here this guy is trying to grandstand, trying to be funny, trying to be cute. He goes over to another state, grabs immigrants, and then tries to take them to Martha's Vineyard to try to be funny or whatever, but doesn't even do it. Really kind of blew up in his face. And I remember oh my Lord, I just was thinking about her, and now I can't think of her name. Not Joy Reid, but Nina Turner. Nina Turner. I had seen her in an interview talking about this, and she was talking about how, this is going to be there's going to be some serious legal implications behind this. And I was like, wow, I hope so. And I was thinking, well, I'm going to keep on watching that story. I hope she's right. And she, lo and behold, that sister knew exactly what she was talking about. Boy, they said DeSantis is in big trouble for this because not only, is he engaged in this political theater, he used COVID funds to do it. These are funds that were earmarked for COVID. Now, of course, this guy ran around calling it theater, that people were just wearing masks to protect themselves. Didn't even want them doing that in Florida. So obviously he had snubbed his nose at COVID the whole time. But even in snubbing your nose, I guess you can't take money that's earmarked for COVID and use it for this political theater, for this political grandstand that you're interested in. So DeSantis done messed up with that. So we'll see where that goes. They said that could have serious legal implications for him. Might mess around and have him in the joint, and you can't run for president when you in the joint. That's not how it works. We have yet, I think, to have a candidate who runs from jail. This is America. I wouldn't put it past this country, but I don't see that happening right now anyway. Trump, come on, man. On top of everything else, this guy has a long laundry list of all types of crap that he's going to be prosecuted for and has been prosecuted for, and then his family has come under prosecution for, and then they've had to pay back this and pay restitution for that. So on top of everything else, the FBI has opened up an investigation into his handling of classified documents. Of course, the FBI raided Mar-a-Lago. They found documents containing sensitive information about Iran and China. Let me read that again. So these documents that they found at Trump's crib had sensitive information about Iran and China. So people running around here saying, why would he even want documents? Yeah, why would he even want documents? And why would he specifically want documents that are about Iran and about China? Stuff that they would want. Because there's money in it, ladies and gentlemen, and both of these two outlets got plenty of money. See what I'm saying? So that is what it is. But come on, man, you use a fool if you don't think he's selling secrets to the top bidder. Anyway, Merrick Garland appointed Jack Smith. Jack Smith is a war crimes prosecutor, and he appointed him to investigate Trump's role in the January 6 riots and documents found at Trump's home in Mar-a-Lago. So on top of everything else Trump got going on, he also got that going on. He got Merrick Garland coming for his neck. Now he got this Jack Smith guy all up in the mix. And I think they were talking about him even putting out some tweets about this stuff. Putting out some tweets being mad about this Jack Smith guy and saying how he's a Trump hater and all this other stuff. Anybody who's ever checking Trump on his wrongdoing is always a Trump hater and a never Trumper and all that other crap. So he went in on this guy talking about that or whatever. Trump has got some real problems here. DeSantis, he got some problems too, because like I said, that little piece of pathetic political theater that he pulled with the Venezuelan immigrants, yeah, that was a bad look, and that was shabby and in poor taste, and that might get him in some political, some legal trouble as well. Well, political trouble, and because his base like that kind of corny-ish, it's a family show, that kind of corny garbage. But Trump, He's got a lot of real troubles here, and then this right here is just icing on the cake for him. He really didn't need this, but he brought it on himself, didn't he? Like he brings all this other stuff on himself. It's always self-inflicted wounds with Donald J. Trump. So there's that. You know what I'm saying? We're going to keep up on that, but we'll see what happens. As far as DeSantis and Trump go within the Republican Party, they said that Trump is still way above DeSantis. Now, I don't have the numbers. I'll probably have them next show. We'll talk about that, but I do know that for a fact, that they said Trump is still beating DeSantis within the Republican Party. But I talk to a lot of Republicans, and they tell me, whether they say it out loud or they just say it behind closed doors when they have conversations with me, they'd rather have DeSantis. They like DeSantis, but DeSantis does not have a personality, and that does not help with the a core base of Republicans who are all about what? A personality, or the cult of personality, which is Trump. Say what you will about the man, and Lord knows I can't stand him, but that guy right there, he's charismatic. There's something about Trump you got to watch when he's doing his buffoonery thing. You got to watch it, right? DeSantis doesn't have that. He's not charismatic at all. He's about as charismatic as a wet sack of mice. So they don't know what to do with that. They don't know what to do with that. They don't know what to do with that, and but they do like DeSantis's politics, and they do like the fact that he's more level-headed than Trump. He's not going to be tweeting every 2 seconds like a 14-year-old girl or none of that madness. So we'll see where that goes, ladies and gentlemen. But I'll say both of them guys might have some troubles with Johnny Lau for they can even get up to, to 2024. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk a little pop culture. Pop culture. If you have not heard it, Beyonce's album, It Does Go Hard. I enjoy it a lot. That You Won't Break My Soul. That's the bomb. She got some other stuff on there. I think that was the radio hit a little while ago, or maybe even right now. Needless to say, her album is really, really good, right? Okay, so recently they were saying that she divides fans with some of her actions. Let's talk about some of her actions as of late. She did a concert in Dubai to open a hotel called Atlantis The Royal. Footage from the concert got to the internet. She has been celebrated for honoring Black queer culture and taking inspiration from LGBT icons. She pays tribute to dance music that came out of the gay community and drag ballrooms in Harlem, New York. I didn't even know all of this. Somebody had to tell me that in that song, You Won't Break My Soul, that's that person who's like, DJ, release yourself, release your mind. That's Big Frida. That's a drag queen, a famous drag queen. I didn't know, you know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of icons in that culture who she's put in her music and draw inspiration from, right? Now, what's problematic about this performance is this. Dubai is part of the UAE, United Arab Emirates, which has strict laws against homosexuality. Wow, now I've heard of the United Arab Emirates. I didn't know that they were necessarily against homosexuality. That does not surprise me, because I know a lot of those Arab countries just do not play that. You can be a homosexual and die over there. You know what I'm saying? They be on that. So that doesn't surprise me. But so there's that. And I'm sure Beyonce was well aware of that. People are reluctant to give Beyonce any backlash because of how loved she is in the LGBTQ community. I hear that. You know what I'm saying? Everybody knows that she's loved in that community. That community loves her. You can come at her if you want to. On the internet, what do they call it? The Beehive. They'll come at you. You can't say anything bad about Beyonce. I mean, it was Chris Rock who said something you can't say nothing bad about. What do you say? Barack Obama, Jesus, and Beyonce. That's what he said when it comes to black folk. You can't say nothing bad about those three. I don't say nothing bad about Barack Obama. You better not say nothing bad about Jesus. You better not say nothing bad about Beyonce. So there it is. She is loved. She's loved in the black community, period. But she's definitely loved in that queer community. My God. So they're saying a lot of people don't even want to stand up and say anything about kind of the hypocrisy of this moment here. Her doing this performance for these people who openly have laws against that lifestyle. A member of the community was quoted as saying, she loves us gays. She loves the LGBT community. Like the guy said, and I quote, he said, she loves us gays. She loves the LGBT community. So there it is. Now, here's the backdrop of this too, which I haven't mentioned yet. She got paid, of course, a whole lot of money. $24 million. $24 million. Now, Beyonce definitely ain't hurting for no money. I think Beyonce is a billionaire, or at least they were saying her and Jay-Z together is $1 billion, but Whatever, man. The woman got plenty of money. She made the money. Okay, I get it. But $24 million for one performance? Come on now. And you got to think about it, man. I mean, a performance is what, 2 hours? Maybe let's say if you're doing encores and you really going all out and you really giving it to them, which I hope she did for $24 million, maybe a 3-hour performance. So 3 hours of her life for $24 million. I don't care who you are. You's a fool if you don't go make that money. And she went and made that money. I am not mad at her. Get out of here. Now, fans of hers, I could see some of them. And there was one guy who was going on record and saying, he said it was disappointing that she did that show. And then another girl said, yeah, it ain't like she needed the money. What was the point? But then another person was saying, though, that no, we got to still, be seen and bring that culture to these areas of the world who may be against that culture. You know what I'm saying? Who maybe don't understand it, and for that are reluctant to embrace it or whatever. It's good that she went there and kind of put that in their faces. They asked for it. They paid her to come out. So she brought all that with her. And, they're saying, you know what I'm saying, inadvertently, maybe these people got something from that. It is what it is. I'm telling you, when I hear this story, what stuck out to me was $24 million. $24 million? There ain't too much I'm not going to do for $24 million. And I don't know anybody who can't get a performance of anything that I do for $24 million. That's a lot of money. Even to Beyonce, that's a lot of money for one performance. One performance. That's just one. That wasn't a residency at Vegas. That wasn't a tour. Man, there's people who tour all their lives and they never got no $24 million. She got it for one performance. So that is what it is. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say, oh, that's just downright greedy. She didn't need the money. Nah, I think it would just be downright insane not to do it for that type of money. My God, $24 million. So, it is what it is, but I guess it was problematic because the UAE is definitely against homosexuality and definitely does have laws that punish people for, I think they were saying like public displays of affection and stuff like that over there. I think that type of stuff can probably get you killed over there. I think it probably get you killed because they're that much against that type of lifestyle. So it is what it is. Moving on. Last thing we're going to talk about is Americans are not feeling engaged with their work. Maybe you're one of them. Are you sick of work? Probably. I feel that. Even if you love your job, it's easy to get sick of work because you just get sick of getting up every day, right? If you could just, wake up every day when you wanted to and then walk out and be on the beach and sip some cervezas on the beach all day. I mean, maybe I'm just talking about myself. Whatever. But if you could live like that, who wouldn't live like that? I want to live like that in retirement, right? So, people blame companies who give employees the option of working from home. A lot of people say that's what's messing up with, people's love affair with work or whatever. They don't get a chance to really get immersed in it and to really fall in love with their jobs, you know what I'm saying? Or really, at least enjoy doing their job, because they're not actually in a brick and mortar place doing their job. They're doing it from home. So they're kind of disconnected, people are saying. People say a lot falls on managers to explain expectations. I agree with that. But that's always been the case, right? That ain't nothing new. And that's probably been a big problem in this country. I'm not going to lie. I've worked anyway at places where that is a problem, where managers or supervisors are not communicating expectations and they're not really training employees like they need to be trained. Now, there is a training that all employees go through, but as a supervisor, you're there to guide the hands of employees. Right, so when they come to you with questions or they ask you how to do things, you're supposed to show them different techniques or tell them different things that makes their job a little easier to do. Makes it a little easier for them to do a better job. I know firsthand there's not a lot of that going on. You have a lot of people who become supervisors and then they're like, I'm here, I'm making this money, I'm good. Let these other people get it how they live. And that's when you're a supervisor, a part of your job is to what? Work with the people under you. That's the reason why you are a supervisor, So it is what it is. A new report from Gallup finds that Gen Zers and young millennials are not engaged with their jobs. This could hurt companies' overall performance, which of course it does. When people aren't engaged with their jobs or enjoying their jobs, it's going to hurt your overall performance because they're not doing as good of a job, right? With high levels of quitting and quiet quitting at an all-time high, companies are having a reckoning. Of course they are. And they said there's a lot of that going on right now. Not just quitting, because they were talking about the Great Resignation. I think I talked about that on this show. But now they're talking about quiet quitting. Shh. quitting low key, coming to work and doing just a bare minimum. Just a bare minimum. I'm not going to leave this office. I'm not going to go do anything. I'm just going to sit here. I'm going to do the little bit of paperwork I need to do to turn in. I'm going to turn in this mouse sheet and I'm just going to ride under the radar. I'm going to get my check and that's it. I'm not giving these people anything extra. I'm not giving them anything at all. My presence is all they get. That's it. And it's like, wow, that's kind of that quiet quitting. You know, these people haven't quit. They haven't quit because they still want to be collecting a check, but they come to work and they're doing the bare minimum. And all of us work with plenty of people like this. You know what I'm saying? And these are people who just don't have the guts to quit outright. And that's why I say to a lot of them people, man, if you're going to come here and quietly quit, just go on and quit. If you ain't feeling this job no more, bounce. You know what I'm saying? Be a part of that great resignation and just up out of here. Because ain't no use of you sitting around here wasting everybody's time when you come in here half every day. You know what I'm saying? Just giving no effort, making it harder for everybody else trying to work up in there. That's ridiculous. So if you ain't feeling it, just bounce. Just get up out of there. I remember years ago, there was this teacher. I can't remember her name. But I can see her face right now as I remember talking. It was her 30th anniversary at the school. And you know what she told the rest of those teachers? She said, if you're not feeling it, get out. She said, I've been doing it for 30 years and I love this job. I love these kids. I love coming to this building and teaching these kids and working with these kids. She said, if that is not the case for you, find something else to do. And that goes for anything that any of us are doing. If you're not feeling it anymore, find something else to do. You know, it's just that simple. It's just that, is it hard sometimes? Yeah, I mean, believe me, I've been there. I know what that's about. You know what I'm saying? But I think it was Oprah Winfrey too who said, do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do. That's real too. Once again, let me say it again. Do what you have to do until you can do what you want to do. So there's that. And then they talked about how they said it's not just about the work people are doing. It's about how you instill meaning in that work. So there it is. People have to have meaning within their work. You know what I'm saying? Feeling like they're doing something that's better in society or helping somebody's life or something like that. It's probably why I've been in social service all of my adult life, working with kids all my adult life, because I was all about helping. Years ago, I'd go to church and I had a minister by the name of Reverend Washington. You know what I'm saying? Pastor B.J. Washington. And that was his thing. I remember a sermon that he did. It was like he's piercing my soul when he said it. But he said, you need to help somebody. And he said that. And he said, if your life is not making somebody else's life a little better, then what are you doing? You know, what are you doing? You just spinning your wheels on this planet if you're not helping somebody. And that kind of clicked off a light in my head. I think I was probably 18, 19 years old. And I said to myself, I said, dang, he's right. What's more important than helping somebody? What's more important than helping a child or a kid or a young person? And boom, that set it off. Here I am, 46 years old. I've been working with kids my whole adult life because of what Reverend Washington said, but he was right. And that's always been my thing. What's more important than helping somebody? What's more important than helping a kid, helping a child, helping a young person, helping the future adults of tomorrow? Yeah, sounds corny, but that's what I get into. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is my time. Before I get out of here, I got to talk about my burr of the week. This is not an IPA. This is a Pilsner. This is a malt Pilsner. It said the hops are Titanic. I don't know what that means. And they said Brewster's approval. Bill and Ron, I guess they're the people who made this beer or whatever. Mystical flavors to enlighten you. This is Victory Golden Monkey Belgian style triple. You'll start seeing this in the store. And this was interesting to me because it's not an IPA, but the alcohol volume is 9.5%. That's very strong, right? And then they show here how it's kind of a malt, but it's also a Pilsner. So I guess that's what they're doing now, mixing malts and Pilsner and stuff like that, so they can kind of give people kind of a beer that's not necessarily rot gut, you know what I'm saying? Kind of a little bit better than that, you know what I'm saying? Because malt liquor, I usually don't do malt liquor like Old English stuff when I was a kid, of course, but these days that ain't nothing but, rumbly guts and a good way to throw up whatever you were eating for the last couple of days. But this is a really good beer. Right here it says, what's it say? It says, nose is loaded with Belgian yeast, character of banana and clove, with an equally fruity body balanced with a light, earthy hop character. Savory notes of orange and spice flow by a dry finish. I would agree. Yeah, all of that. It's pretty good beer. It goes down pretty smooth. So if you got a little bit of money in your pocket, you might want to go ahead and grab you this Golden Monkey Belgian style triple. It's a triple OG, 9.5% alcohol. It's good stuff. All right, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me, that is my time. This has been Urban Politics, where politics live. I'm your humble host, Fizz and Music. Want to thank you all for liking and subscribing as you do. Please, as soon as you have a chance, you know what I'm saying? Let your little fingers do the walk and take yourself on over to YouTube. Like and subscribe. Fizz and Music, Urban Politics. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, see you around like a donut.